dude, this performance is once again, you're killing me with these are really good. This is your, God damn it, you're good in this.
Thanks,
That's,
dude. Fuck, thank you. Appreciate it.
there's a, yeah, well, dude, there's a lot of stuff that's in this character. And as I was watching I wasn't sure whether it was like it was almost like an environmental horror. It was so interesting. There's so much there. And what you're going through as a character, that's a lot, dude. That was a lot.
For
What was
sure.
the process for you?
Well, first of all, I appreciate it so much, man. So thank you. And secondly, yeah. Well, first of all, I'll start with Celine and Logan, the filmmakers, who I don't know if you've gotten a chance to speak with yet, but they are like utterly talk about brighten your day. I mean, like they're so infectious and so passionate and like that. It's just such a pleasure to. They're also exhausting. They're so challenging in the greatest way. So, but they are just such a pleasure to work for and work with, and they just have like an insatiable passion for finding moments and for just humanity and people and environment. So it's very astute that you immediately noted the environment because that was the sort of genesis for the entire film. The entire movie came from Celine and Logan coming across an image of Caddo Lake on Reddit in like 2020, and they were just like utterly stunned by what they saw, and they moved down there for 3 months and crafted this entire story surrounding this lake. That's like their vibe. They're very like they fall in love with like a place like and an energy and like a soul and a feeling, and then they like that serves as their entire inspiration. And so that was the conception of the film. The very conception of the film was the environment. So it's amazing that you sort of identified that and that came
You
through.
know I know my shit, Dylan. You know
You
I know
really,
my
you fucking do, baby. You do.
shit.
It's great for that to be highlighted. That's killer.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. I think what it does so well is it translates very human. I mean, dude, I just lost my mother last year. I related to this
I'm
character.
sorry, man.
Thank you. It was difficult to watch because it's an emotional role, it's an emotional turn, but it
Yeah.
also there's a how did they present this? Because it's very you got to pay attention, people, when you're watching this.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
those pay attention.
yeah.
How did they go describe to you and work with you and to find the character and explain what the hell was going on?
Explain what the fucking hell was going on. That's so funny. Yeah. So I mean, I guess in terms of the process, like they're so open and trusting, and that's like a beautiful thing in your collaborators.
Yeah,
So you couldn't feel more free. You couldn't feel in better hands. And um, in terms of it's always a leap of faith. I mean,
yeah.
both directions. You know what I mean? And I just believed in them. And I bought in. I mean, I fell in love with what they crafted. You know,
Hmm.
I fell in love with the story. I just believed it, and I saw this guy. I saw Ellie, Eliza's character. You know, and I saw Anna, and I saw this world, and that's such a credit to how they presented it as well, because they sort of first sent it alongside a link of footage that they shot on the lake, which
Yeah.
was so smart of them because it is so much of the soul of this film. And I was able to dive into the script for the first time, having just like absorbed that footage and the sound and it's so inherently cinematic, this place, so what a tremendous like landscape for the story and for the read, and yeah, there's just in terms of like the tracking of the story and the kind of like emotionality that needs to go along with it as the through line, foundation. It's a lot of trust in them,
Mm.
and not wanting to over perform it, wanting to really stay, not wanting to perform to the genre, but be aware of it, obviously.
Mhm.
Like I kind of love. I'm such a fan of like ordinary person in extraordinary circumstances type of thing. I love a grounded realism combined with a heightened, concept. I love that type of thing. As a viewer, as an actor, I find it really fun to swim in that type of world, So um, it was really just staying honest to the character first and foremost, always, and what he was going through, and not being too aware of the heightened concept, because I feel like the honesty and the authenticity and the grounded nature was such a key element to you being able to them being able to introduce these supernatural elements.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can feel my mom out there.
Anna, where are you?
Well, yeah, I gotta say too. I mean, wherever you were shooting, it was. Did that translate that feeling of that kind of isolation? The kind of it's such a
Yeah,
powerful place to shoot. What was it
yeah,
like?
incredible. It did so much of the work for me. Especially you point out the isolation. I don't know if I know this wasn't intentional, but it's just coincidental. But I ended up not shooting for the first 3 weeks, that I was 3.5 maybe, that I was down there.
Oh,
And I'm just in this cabin. Like, I had my dog, which was great. I had, like, my puppy was like 8 months at the time, so he was with me. But yeah, I sort of had no choice but to just like be enveloped in that environment, and kind of find and build what sort of I was gonna utilize. And a lot of that, credit goes to Celine and Logan too. Again, their insatiable sort of curiosity for humans, that they're constantly putting me in contact with people that they had met through pre-production, and were like, you must meet this person. Like,
oh
they're,
wow.
and so I did. I went, and I really hung out with these guys who lived in this town, and I got to know a lot of them. It was a really small town in Karnak, Texas. This place is a really tight knit environment, and I really got to know, and really got to love these guys, and and I drew everything from them. I mean, like, they informed the environment, and that place informed everything that we brought to the film, and ultimately what it became. So yeah, I mean, the credit just goes to so much, for the whole movie, to all of Karnak, Texas. I mean, really, like, this lake, and this town, this environment, this community informed so much of the production. So
Yeah.
it means a lot to all of them, and it means a lot to us, and we're just so excited that it's finally getting released.
Yeah, and it's such a again, I think the balance of the supernatural with the reality of it, like you said, grounded. My God, every performance is grounded here. Every
Yeah,
single one.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I gotta say, dude, and we've been talking for years. I don't even remember the first time we met. I look at your career, especially the trajectory of how your career has gone and the choices you make. Damn it, dude, you make these really interesting, smart choices. You're not doing the cash grabs. You're not doing what do you have an idea? What is it for you when you're seeking out a role or you're offered a role? What do you say? Yeah, that's something I need to be a part of, something like this.
yeah. Well, I appreciate that again. Uh, First of all, thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know. It's well, I do know, but it's hard to put a finger on, like, in terms of being one singular thing. It's sort of usually an amalgamation of elements to it. This one
Yeah.
in particular, right, was again, I was so inherently drawn in by Celine and Logan, and by this story. So at the end of the day, like, if you're I really believed in them, and that's
Yeah.
just an intangible element, right? So before I even opened it, I was really excited to receive it, and I was almost certainly going to do it, whatever the hell it was, because I was
Yeah.
just, because are so they're such special people, and that usually translates to being really interesting filmmakers, and really interesting collaborators. So at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to go with my gut when I, when I'm there's a picky aspect to it, and there's an aspect to it that sometimes I'm just like, damn, like, am I too picky? I don't know. Like, I don't fucking know. Sometimes I'm like, but I don't know. And then when you go and do something like this, I don't know. I was really proud to, yeah, have even been thought of for this, to be honest. Because they believed in me too, in a way that, like, I'm not sure that a lot of people would have. I think that there's certainly elements to this character that, you yourself kind of know that you got it. You see him, that there's the connectivity, like he's inside you somewhere. But I think that takes a lot of faith from someone else to believe that you have that, if it's not something you've shown. So I guess it's a really long and roundabout, rambly answer, and I apologize for that. But it's kind of a roundabout and random, rambly process.
Yeah.
Like, you're just drawn. I'm inspired by people and by stories and by places, just like Celine and Logan, and so yeah, it was sort of like a beautiful little package that was on this one. The place, the filmmakers, the story. Yeah, Eliza too. Like, I mean, what a special person she is. And so yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of, you just go with your gut, I guess, with all that.
Well, we got a wrap, dude, but you're pretty goddamn special yourself. I love talking to you, man. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, man. Always love talking to you too, James. Seriously.
Yeah. Hopefully next time in person. In person.
I know we've never done it. We've never done it in person.
No, we did at Comic-Con back in the day.
Oh,
Maze
God,
Runner.
Like,
yes.
Like 9 years ago.
We got to fix this. Come back to LA.
I know. It's crazy. It is kind of crazy. All right, man. Take care.
Yeah,
It's
you
great
too,
to
buddy.
see you. Yeah.
Great to see you.